curi smeće.
Riješio da radim jače nego ikad jebo bivše ljubavi sad grizem kao tigar voleo sam jednog anđela ali nju za mene nije bilo briga ova muzika je jedina što prodala me ne bi nikad zato radim puno paro zajedno sa bratom jednom kad me izdaš više ne razumem reč žao vraća se na ulicu na petom gde sam prvi put pao gde sam prvi put krao vraća se na klupe gde sam prvi put karo vraća starog sebe ko sam zaključao davno nema više suza emocija igranja sa glavom ja sam čutila sa stavom možeš da me zoveš i barabom al za pare nikad ne bi legao sa babom meni pare nisu moti da bi prodao neko koga volim ja sam bege čuka s dušom volim da se borim nikad ne odustajem neka puca
radim jako, kuram jako, igram jako radim jako, kuram jako, radim jako uvijek igram samo tako radim jako, kuram jako, igram jako radim jako, kuram jako, radim jako uvijek igram samo tako radim jako, kuram jako.
Hello my friends and welcome back to FPS Bosnia. Today we have beautiful Eastern rifle that shoots capitalist pig round. Excuse me. 1 second. Hopefully you can hear me over the gunshots in the background here. Today we have a very cool AK that shoots the .308 round. So this is the Zastava M77. This is a Jako pattern Serbian AK that shoots the .308. So it's a little bit different from most AKs, not only because it shoots .308, but also because it is a Jako pattern rifle. And what Jako pattern means, I'm just gonna simplify this a whole lot. So basically, there was a country back in the day called Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia was made up of several Slavic ethno-states, one of those being modern-day Serbia. So back in like the 70s, the Serbians got their hands on a Soviet AK, and now the Serbians, or the Yugoslavians, sorry, were not necessarily a Soviet country. They weren't even a satellite state. They were way originally, if I'm getting my history right, part of the Soviet Union, but they broke off and were not Soviet anymore. So they did not have the AK pattern rifle native to their country. So they decided, oh, this rifle, very nice, but yet the rifle is not fine. We change a couple things, make it better. So that's what they did. They changed a couple things, but basically just back engineered a Soviet AKM, and now we have our Jako pattern rifles. And one of the main differences, I'm not going to get super deep into it, but one of the main differences is it has this bulged receiver trunnion area right here, made to handle the rifle grenades that were super popular back in the day. The M77 was designed to be a battle rifle that saw limited use in the 70s, 80s, 90s under maybe a couple countries, but really not a whole lot of military service. It was mainly kind of made to export to the US, hence the capitalist .308 cartridge that it shoots. And it is a true .308 chambered rifle, so it'll handle both .308 and 7.62 NATO. It's got the chamber is built up enough to handle those pressures for both. So we'll start from the end here. Seeing as this is our buddy Nathan's rifle, he has it all Gucci'd out, so we'll talk about that. He has a suppressor. This is the Energetic Arms Peak 30 7.62 suppressor. So he's got that on here. We have a 19-inch barrel, so it is a long boy. You're getting plenty of velocity off of that .308 round. You've got an adjustable gas block. I don't know if you could see from that intro there. She's a little gassy with the suppressor on there. We have it on setting 2. After this gets broken in, it should be able to run on setting 1, which will greatly reduce the amount of gas coming back to my face. You'll also notice I was shooting without hearing protection. It wasn't bad. Wouldn't recommend doing it a whole lot. For the video, I ponied up and went ahead and did it. It was not uncomfortable, not comfortable, kind of in that gray area. Nathan also has the SLR Rifle Works forend on this handguard with a chopped, or maybe not a chop, maybe it comes that way, with just a Troy partially vertical mount down here and a couple of M-lock rails. So this thing is set up very nicely. Down here we have a 20 round 308 magazine, very reminiscent of your typical battle rifle magazines. We got a Zastava side mounted optic mount with a little vortex prism up here. And then in the back we have a Midwest Industries AK folding stock with a BCM stock down here. So very cool rifle. Now this does shoot 308, so it hits hard. We were shooting steel earlier to zero this in, and it was popping that steel hard. So that's very cool. This is it's kind of actually pretty funny. A little side story. This looks like an FAL. Nathan calls it the Russian FAL, which I think is very fitting. Very cool rifle. So it shoots 308 out of a 19-inch barrel, so it's popping that steel really hard. It's not the most accurate rifle. I would say, from what I have read online, about 2.5 to 3 MOA is what you get out of this, and that was tracking with us as well. Good enough at 100 yards, but not super great. Moving back to the magazine changes here. These mags are a little bit finicky to get in. Of course, right there, I just did it perfect for you. But you kind of got to make sure you get it in exactly the right spot before you are able to rock it back in there. I find that my Wasser, which I've done a video on, I can get those magazines in there just a little bit easier than I can with this guy, but it's not impossible. Of course, moving back here, we'll talk about the trigger, because the trigger is interesting on this one. The trigger on this is not broken in yet. This rifle has relatively low rounds on it, so I would not say that this trigger is great right now. It is very rough, very creepy, all the way to a wall that is kind of, ooh, yeah, it's just a rough, long pull all the way back to that wall, and the actual let-off is pretty light, but once this breaks in, I think it'll be pretty nice. I think it'll feel a little bit more like my Wasser, which has a great trigger in it. Safety is a little stiff, but not bad. And overall, I think this rifle shoots very nice, albeit a little bit gassy with the suppressor on there. Okay, so overall, with this Zastava M77, this is a cool rifle. It's a very smooth shooting rifle for a 308. It's not the most accurate. It's a very fun gun to shoot. It does have an adjustable gas block, which after this all breaks in, I think we can put that down to 1 and make it more comfortable. As it is in setting 2, it's not the most comfortable suppressor hose. It does gas you out pretty quick. But from the factory as it is, I'd say good to go rifle for a good price, and Gucci'd out like this, definitely a very cool rifle. Listen, if I missed anything, hit me up in the comments. I don't necessarily plan a lot of these reviews out super well. I just kind of say what comes to my mind, you know, when I'm shooting this rifle. What stands out, what I like, what I don't like. Overall, I like this one a lot. Trigger needs a little work. I think it all kind of comes down to breaking it in. This wouldn't be like my go-to rifle if things ever got real crazy in the world. I think an AR would be mine, but this is definitely a really cool rifle to have in the collection. Just a very nice imported AK that shoots a cartridge that is a little bit more available and harder hitting from the US. So with all that being said, like I said, let me know if I forgot anything or if you have any questions. Guys, I really appreciate you watching. This channel has kind of been a labor of love for me. I hope it's entertaining. I hope you guys find some information from it. If you could, I hate saying it because it's very cliche and I don't like that, but throw a like in there. Please comment. That's awesome. I love to respond to comments. it makes my day every time I see someone watches the video and cares enough to comment. And subscribe if you want. I mean, you know, that'd be awesome. Subscribers are good. I'm just trying to grow this channel and have fun with my friends, and maybe put out some information that people like. So anyway, stay tuned for follow-up on my Wasser eventually, and then an update on my my Brownells BRN11 that are, yeah, BRN15, that it's an 11.5 inch barrel. That's why I said that. Sorry, you know, forgive me. I've got a suppressor on that now, and I'm putting a lot of rounds through that to get a good review out on that suppressor. So stay tuned. Thank you all. You're all kings, every single one of you. And be gentle, not soft. Boom.